Okay, here's a teaser for you. What do All of Me, the 1931 hit, not John Legend's, Radiohead's Creep, 1992, and Billie Eilish's most recent hit, Happier Than Ever, have in common? Is that a teaser? Maybe. Let's find out. Okay, spoiler, I'm just going to tell you. What they have in common is the major 3 chord and the minor 4 chord and the way they work together. Let's look at how it happens. All right, so let's go to the notation. All of Me is a jazz standard, right? That's C major 7 it should be. And then it's followed by the major chord, a dominant in this case, on the 3rd step of the scale. All right, does that sound familiar at all? 1, major 3. It's a bright sound, a really nice effect. Well, that major 3 chord shows up in Radiohead's Creep. When I was a something or other, right? Da 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 da. That's up to the 4 chord. And then the 4 chord becomes minor. Let's listen to that again. Creep is in G, so I'm playing it in G. Here we go. Let's watch it on the screen. And then it goes back to home base. So check this out. The 1 chord here is G. 1 chord. Up to the major 3, it's B major. Up to the 4, which is C. And then C becomes C minor. And then it resolves back to the 1 chord G. This note here, sorry for the bing, bing, bings, but it's in the case of this G major key signature, that tone first appears as D sharp, the 3rd in the B major chord, and then later on appears as E flat, the 3rd in the C minor chord. That kind of transformation is essential to the bittersweet quality that this chord progression generates. 1, 3, 4, minor 4. Right? Isn't that just gorgeous? That same chord progression sort of shows up in Happier Than Ever. So C, up to E, which is the 3rd, A minor. Oh, it goes around the circle of fifths. Isn't that old-fashioned? D, and then G7. So let's look at it. C, E. E is the 5 of A minor. This is like an old-fashioned song, Billy and Phineas. 2, 5, 1. 2, 5, 1. It's like a jazz tune. Later on, 8, 16 bars later in the tune, the same thing sort of starts off that way, but the minor 4 appears. So just continuing, if you remember how the song goes, 1, it goes up to the 3 again, and then the A minor, the 6, but it's followed by this chord here, which is the 4 minor chord. It's the 4 minor chord with a D attached. It's an F minor with a D attached, 4 minor 6. You'll see people notating it for guitar as D minor 7 flat 5, exactly the same pitches, but what Billy sings is, she actually outlines the F minor 6 chord in the melody. So there's that same trick again. Here's the minor 3rd, And here's the major third of the E chord. That same note appearing again and again and again in an old jazz standard, in an alt rock chestnut, and then here in this sort of beautiful, sort of kind of elegant current pop song. So what makes this so beautiful? Well, I think it's a fairly simple answer. I think it's that transformation that happens between these two chords. So just listen to this. I'm going to play E major and then F minor. Here we go. E major. The top note doesn't change. It's the major third, and then it becomes the minor third. This is E major, F minor 6, E major, F minor 6. Let's resolve to C. E, F, F minor, and of course, back home again. Ooh, that's so pretty, and I overdid it. I'll grant you. Did you hear the crackle and pop? Well, listen, that F minor 6 chord, the 4 minor chord, has a kind of a power to it for one more reason, and then we're going to stop because we can't talk too long. But these are the notes that I want to take a look at. D, F, A flat. There's a C in there theoretically, maybe. But that's the top of this chord. Ready? And that chord is G7 flat 9. So this sound, just the top, really wants to, it's a diminished chord basically, and we almost hear the B, don't we? Really wants to resolve home again. Oh, in a very kind of like sighing sort of way. That same tone on top, the A flat, if I rethink about it as the major third of E, suddenly gets bright. Nothing's more exciting to a listener and in your compositions than the interplay of darkness and light, of expectation and fulfillment, of the sort of thrill of that kind of surprise. I think there's a lot to be said, especially in slow tunes, for sort of teasing out these sort of extra sonorities, these sort of transformations within chords in order to get a wider vocabulary. Well, this is a great example. Happier Than Ever. Radiohead's Creep. The old song, All of Me, not John Legend's. Well, I love these chord progressions. Really fun. I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe. And guys, I'll see you next time.